decided to become an engineer probably fairly young. My older brothers are engineers, and I just love taking stuff apart, seeing how things work, and tinkering and, building stuff at a young age. So engineering was like a natural fit. I just assumed I'd work as an engineer in Silicon Valley until I retired. Photography and filmmaking and video, as you know, is very tech intensive. Lots of gadgets and toys, which are really fun. So I find it a perfect melding and fitting of the two halves. I mean, it feels very natural to be doing both things. I got here and I was in contract to buy my home when the project was announced in December 2003. I was always interested in architecture and street photography, and so, again, it felt like a natural thing just to start documenting what the neighborhood was like, because I knew if the project went forward that the environment was going to change pretty radically, pretty quickly.
Barclays Center is going to have a tremendous impact on us as a community, and that we really need to stay close-knit. We really need to stay to our roots of Brooklyn.
Atlantic Yards Deconstructed is kind of the current chapter or phase of a long-term project. The first phase of that was almost purely photography of documenting the built environment in and around the Atlantic Yards project site. Now that we're at this stage where the arena's open, that battle was lost. I needed to now synthesize all the imagery and archival footage I've been, capturing over the years in some way to give people a sense of what the neighborhood used to look like. I've been driven by Bloomberg's statement saying,
"Nobody's going to remember how long it took. They're only going to look and see that it was done."
So there's that sort of emotional drive for me to do this. And then just sort of from a archivist, documentarian sort of mindset to, leave a record of what was here, because I think it's important that people know what was here and understand that there was a different narrative than what the developer and the city and state have been telling.
It's an elegy for what has been destroyed or is about to be destroyed. And he just captures that poignance and the beauty of it.
It's a 3D model of the project footprint of the buildings that were here, and a model of the arena, and a quick kind of model of the first building they plan to build at the corner of Dean and Flatbush. Coupled to the model is a timeline, and as the date moves along the timeline, the status of the buildings in the model changes. Like after they're demolished, they disappear. And so you can see from about January 2003 until the present day, the progression and the change in the footprint. Also, as the timeline's going along, significant events in the Atlantic Yards story are, they pop up on the screen, and maybe there's an image or a video. Like the groundbreaking, Daniel Goldstein moving out of his home, the last person in the footprint.
A graphical timeline of the change over the years at the site, it's a little difficult to watch, but it's a great way to represent how the neighborhood was dismantled.
I'm often fascinated by the lone protester, feeling like those people are really courageous, or crazy, or both.
It makes me very sad to see what has been destroyed and needlessly destroyed.
But usually they're pushed to the point of craziness, dealing with some situation that's, wrong, unjust, untenable, whatever it is. I'm drawn to that drama. I'm inspired by people who, for whatever reason, decide to just go for and do what they really want to do, instead of like slaving away at a job they hate, doing something they despise with people they don't like. Quit your job. Just do it. If you have an inkling or some sort of drive, pursue that thing, whatever it is. Even if everybody says, "Why are you doing this? It's crazy." I mean, the worst that can happen is, okay, you suck at it. You go and find another job you hate. But at least you went and did it and maybe had fun, or, because I think the world would be much more interesting if people just didn't always do what they were supposed to do all the time.